is a recent Australian Olympic swimmer who grew up in the northern suburbs of Melbourne, like myself. He is a passionate Richmond supporter, and with an Australian swimming record under his belt, and all at the age of 22. Please welcome Matthew Temple.
Yes, thanks, Liv. What an intro.
Yeah, there you go. I had to put in the Richmond. You're a big Richmond fan like me. We actually watched the 2017 grand final together, which is a really great memory.
Yeah, down at Punt Road.
That's it. I think you actually had swimming on that day, did you not?
Yeah, I remember I came back from Canberra and went straight to Punt Road.
Yeah, crazy. And you also, you grew up in Mill Park.
Yep.
Tell us a bit about like where you grew up for the people who don't know, and like basically from that how you got your start in swimming.
Yeah, so a fair while ago now, but so I grew up in Mill Park and I lived in Mill Park probably since I was 16, 17 years old. So I swam at Mill Park Swim Club, which I could walk to during the afternoons when the sun was still up, which was pretty good in my eyes. And then I had a few friends leave there. So I sort of had to progress onto more of an amateur club, which was then based in Greensborough called DVE Aquatic. And that was out of Watermark. And that wasn't too bad. It was a 15-minute-ish drive to and from, but I could walk to school from there, old Greensborough College. So I was good there, and that worked out. Yeah, that worked out well for myself there. But then similar thing happened. You get to that age, 16, 17, your friends that you made at your new club want to do other things. So it made it real hard for me to keep swimming. I just wasn't enjoying it. And my friend Andrew Rice had moved to Nunawading a year before I had to make up my mind whether to keep going or stop. He said, come to Nunawading, it's the best thing you do. The environment over here is insane. The club is just, everything about it is so good, and they've been good to him. So I think I was 17 at the time and made the move across to Nunawading. So it was a big move, moving from the northern suburbs to the eastern suburbs.
It was about, I can imagine.
A long way. It was about a 50-minute drive one way on a good day to training. So I was still at school at this stage, and I was living in a granny flat with my mum in Forest Hill, which was a 10-minute walk to the pool, like a couple minutes drive. So it was very handy. And yeah, I think a lot for doing that for a year. And then I managed to get my license as soon as I could. And that made a hell of a difference to her and myself, giving myself a bit of freedom, driving myself to school, to training, back and forth. And yeah, so the last 4 years I've been at Nunawading, and here I am today.
Yeah, crazy. Oh my God. So what was that decision like for you to make to actually, because you ended up moving with your family, right? Was it Nunawading or Forest Hill? Is that the area?
Yeah, out that way, yeah.
What was that decision like for you to make at the time?
At the time, so I really wasn't enjoying swimming, and I knew, just growing up in Mill Park my whole life, moving away from friends and family, it'd be a big move. But my dad made me talk to one of his mates who was a cyclist, and he pretty much told me, you can't swim when you're 40, swim now, have a crack now. So I thought, like I was 17 at the time, I may as well. I had my eyes on being an electrician, and I knew I could fall back on that later. So I thought, I'm going to give this a crack now while I can. I had full support from my family. So I thought I may as well. And yeah, it's been one hell of a ride the last couple of years.
Yeah. Towards, I guess, the now, where we are now. How was it how did you deal with like lockdown last year? Because obviously the Olympics had been pushed forward, so to this year instead of happening last year. So what were you doing during lockdown, and how difficult was it for you to like keep up with your routine, I guess?
I think it was pretty difficult for us Victorians, like especially, as you know, we're stuck for close to 2 months. But I think hearing the news that the Olympic Games were pushed back a year, I didn't know how to feel. In 2020, if the Australian trials were in 2020, that was the best shape I'd been in my life. So it was a bit disappointing to hear that they had been moved back. But I was lucky enough to pick up work pretty much full time in lockdown. So it gave me something to do, and I was outside working. So I was always doing something. But knowing that, like, the Queensland swimmers were in a lockdown for a month. So knowing they had, which is a bit rough, knowing they had an extra month work before I'd started was a bit scary. But during the lockdown, like, I'm pretty active, play footy and whatnot. You too.
Yeah.
But just got to ride my bike, went for runs. I set myself a goal to run a 10K run, and I think I actually ran 3 11K runs. So, so I was pretty happy with that in the end. But it was pretty rough going to work and then having to do some sort of exercise afterwards. But also, we did a lot of Zoom calls with the squad at the time, whether it was just a core session or gym. So it was good to catch up with everyone because you can't really see anyone. But it was good to see your mates' faces again.
Yeah, I can imagine. And like mentally, like, I'm sure it would have been, obviously, like you said that you were in like the best physical shape so far in your career at that point. Mentally, what was that like for you, trying to deal with kind of having to come to terms with the games being moved next year?
I'm pretty good in my head. I'm pretty good. Nothing phases me too much. But hearing that, I didn't know what to think. Like, I don't know how to explain. It's just a weird feeling. But knowing everyone was in the same situation, like all the countries were shutting down, or most of them were. So I knew swimmers were out of the pool. But it was just weird. Like, probably similar to you. You just you don't know what to do. You're just sort of stuck, and it wasn't a nice feeling, but it is what it is, I guess.
I talk a bit about your parents now. Like, I did a bit of research on you, Matt, because you have some information on you online. You said that your parents was, like, obviously some of your biggest supporters. How important is it to you to have like a really great support system? Because I know you have your parents, but you've also got your amazing girlfriend, Kelsey, who I see always constantly supports you. What's that like to have how important is it to have that support system?
Yeah, I think very important. And the way that they go about supporting me is pretty good. They're not pushy. They support me no matter what decision I make. Even my brother, Trent, he's there. Trent. He's there supporting me as well. But
how could I forget Trent? Sorry, Trent.
Yeah, Trent as well. So mum, dad, Trent, my girlfriend. It's so good to have so many people supporting me. My girlfriend's family as well. Everyone's got my back, no matter what the results are. So I go into any competition knowing whatever happens, they're there with me. But I'm always trying my best. So fingers crossed, it's always a good result. Yeah, exactly right.
I was when I was watching the trials for the Olympics, the ones that were on Amazon. It was so nice to see, like, your family. It was really cute. They were in the stands. Your girlfriend as well. How is that like for you, right? That moment where you hit the wall, in that moment that we saw on the TV, and like, could you see your fam and Kelsey in the stands? Yeah. So that was a crazy couple of weeks. So we got told Melbourne was going into lockdown, our squad. That's right. Yeah.
After training. So that was about 9 o'clock. And then we were on a flight at 1:30 to the Gold Coast. So we were able to compete in Adelaide in a couple of weeks' time. So we had to be out of Melbourne for the 2 weeks. And they managed to get out on the last day they could too. So Kelsey went up to the Gold Coast. She was in the Gold Coast for a week, and then Burleigh for a week. And then my parents managed to drive across the border to New South Wales, just so they weren't in Victoria. So they were in New
insane.
South Wales for a couple of weeks, which meant they could get to Adelaide. And yeah, talking to I know a few Victorians who currently live in Queensland, and that their family and parents still live in Melbourne, and like they'd all planned to get across to watch the trials, but yeah, it's just so sad knowing that they couldn't be there. So their parents were watching from home.
Yeah, wow. That's insane. Such a massive effort. And then as soon as you guys left, Sydney just hit the fan. What's the flight like to Tokyo? Because like all of you Olympians are on the same plane, is that correct?
Yes. So I think we had a chartered flight from Cairns to Tokyo, and because we were competing in the first week, we got there a few days earlier, whereas people competing in the second week might have got there 5 days before they started.
Gotcha.
So we didn't have everyone in the village at once. So we had rowers on our flight, water polo, and possibly hockey on our flight. But the flight, we nearly had a space in between everyone, and everyone's wearing their Aussie gear. So it was pretty cool just to be on the plane with the rest of those people. Like it was something special.
What was it like getting all your Aussie gear? Like was that just like such a surreal moment, like to get the the merch and to be to put that green and gold on? I mean, that would have been such a cool thing.
Yeah, definitely. To receive the gear was one thing, but I think after the swimming trials, receiving that gown and your plane ticket, I think that's what was really a surprise to me. Just to know you're on the team, you've been handed this ticket, you're going to the Olympics in 4 weeks. Like it's pretty unreal.
Insane. And I guess what was the build up like for you those 4 weeks before you left? Like, just like, was it just like, were you nervous? I mean, or were you just like really keen and excited to get there?
I was pretty excited just because you made the team with everyone else, and everyone else who'd made the team is pretty excited. But we got into a bit of trouble beforehand. So we were supposed to be in Townsville for 2 weeks with say half the team, and then go on to Cairns for the next 2 weeks. But it was maybe after 7 or 8 days, on the weekend, we decided to go out to the island, and we had spent the day there. And then the next day, we'd found out there's COVID cases on the island. So there's never been a community case in Townsville, and we were there, and it had started to come out in the community. So we had to.
Oh no!
So we're in a bit of a rush there. So when we found out, we had a couple of hours to pack our bags, and then we drove straight to Cairns from Townsville. And then we got put into a hotel for, I think, 3 days before we got our results, and we were all cleared to come out. So we're in the hotel for 3 days, only allowed to go to a pool and back.
Oh my goodness.
And that was just the people from Townsville. So
That's
so we got put in a bit of a bubble.
Yeah.
There and then, which is a bit of a shock. Like you're 3 weeks away from the Olympics and you're stuck in a hotel room, only training. We were ordering Uber Eats for our meals, so it's probably not ideal 3 weeks out. But
did the TikToks of you making the pancakes? Is that what that was? The Uber Eats? Is that?
Yeah. So we got pretty bored there, and we just decided to make something up, and it was just a bit of fun. It killed a bit of time in the afternoon.
Oh god, was TikTok like? Are you a big TikTok user?
Me, nah. I just made it.
No?
I just made it for a bit of fun, and that was about it. And then it turned out all right. But I don't think you'll see me on TikTok much.
Oh, I didn't you just post something like before?
Yeah, I did. I've read them. Yeah.
Give me a bit of insight onto what the Olympic Village was, because I'm telling you, Matt, my whole For You page was of athletes in the Olympic Village during the Olympics.
Oh, really?
Give us like what is it like? Is it fun time? Obviously, I know COVID impacts it a little bit, but what was your experience like in the village?
Did you see many videos from Aussie athletes or just everyone?
It was a mixture, yeah, like Australia, the States, British
Yeah.
people, but mainly Aussies, yeah.
Yeah, right. So I think the village would have been completely different without COVID. Like, it was already pretty cool as it was, but if you were
Yeah.
able to mingle with others, talk to others, it would have been a lot better experience. So masks on all the time, which is a bit of a pain, but you and I know, being from Melbourne, it's no hard work. We're used to it.
There literally isn't, is it?
So that, yeah, there's just hand sanitizer everywhere. The dining hall was a bit of a weird one. So each table had perspex in front of you and either side of you. So
yes, I did see this. Yeah, right.
Yeah. So that was that. But it was huge. Everyone's like walking around in the dining room, so it was a bit scary.
Yeah.
We tried to sit away from everyone else in the corner, just to stay away from everyone. Like, just little things you gotta be careful of, like touching the tongs. Everyone's just touched the tongs, so you got to be careful. It was a bit scary not hearing about any COVID results from the Olympics. So it could have been there. It might not have been there, but yeah, we don't know. So that was a bit scary not knowing.
Wow. Yeah, that is weird.
But our building was pretty cool. We had a big setup down the bottom. We had a few TVs and a few sun chairs, which we could go down and watch whatever sport was on the TV. So I think one night I wasn't competing. I went down and I watched the swimming from the hotel, and just the atmosphere down there, all the Aussies getting around each other.
Yeah.
Like, it was pretty cool. But another hard thing was, because everyone's got masks and hats on, like, you don't know who's who. So someone just comes up to you, says hello, like, you don't know who they are. I even had a couple coaches just come up to me, talk about training, and they realised I'm not even like their athlete. They were completely different sports. I didn't know who they were either. So it was a bit hard in that situation, but I think everyone coped pretty well.
Could you mingle with the other athletes from the other countries at all?
Yeah, well, I suppose you could. So our building had, the Aussies had maybe 10 floors, and then Kenya and the Cook Islands had a couple of the top floors.
Yep.
So we, and there's sort of another viewing room with a TV down the bottom. And Kenya, like, we had our outside area, and Kenya had just used that area. So when the athletics came on, Kenya was in there going nuts when
I can imagine.
When their people were running the marathon. But yeah, you could go out and you could definitely go out and talk to people, but it's more if you want to, like, it's sort of a risk.
Right.
There's another bloke from Melbourne Luke Gebby, he swam for the Philippines. And so he was in a tower with China, Malaysia, Singapore. And but we caught up for a chat one day, sat on some chairs outside the Aussie Tower and had a chat. So it was good to catch up with people who you knew, but meeting people was a bit skeptical. Like,
yeah, of course. I mean, COVID world for you. I guess, like you said, if there wasn't, a pandemic, I feel like you'd have a bit more of a freedom to do stuff. And
and I think
it sucks. Hopefully,
a little bit.
Paris 2024, you can do that.
Yeah, well, let's see.
Talk about your swimming at the Olympics, because this is why we're here. Tell me so the first race I saw of you was the relay final. What is going through your head when the announcer is calling out Team Australia and you were taking the pool deck, you're going there, you're taking off your stuff and you're getting ready to dive in? What is going through your head? Like,
so normally, sort of depends where I am and what race it is, whether I get nervous or not. But I was a little bit nervous before this one, just being my first race, sort of not knowing what to expect. But I think it was good having the other three boys there with me. They were probably all in the same boat as me. But lining up behind all the other teams and then walking out was pretty special. Like, it still hasn't sunk in with me, but like I walked out to swim at the Olympics. But in the marshalling room, Kyle Chalmers was on my back. We need a 47 second lead off. we need a 47, rah, rah, rah. And my best at that time was from the trials, which was a 48.3. And that was a big drop from my PB before the trials, which was a 48.9. So, so to go a 47, or to try anyway, would have been a stretch, but you know, knowing me, I gave it a crack, and I ended up going 48.0. So I knew, like, it's my fastest time ever, and I knew,
wow,
for the boys, like, it was a good lead off. There wasn't much more I could have done to do that, and yeah, just knowing they had my back as well, and to swim that time was pretty good in my eyes.
Yeah, my God. Again, my sister and I, when we were watching, when you were in the pool, we were like, you did so well. Like, generally, I know nothing about swimming, but you kept in it, which was great.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it was close. It was close after the first leg, and then for the boys to come through and finish third, past a few other teams. Yeah, unreal.
Amazing. So good. And in that, what was it like when you were on the podium getting your medals? Like, that would have been such a surreal moment for you. Like, has that even sunk in for you?
No, like, that's so special. Just grabbing the medal, the flowers with the mascot on it, and then seeing the flag raised up was, yeah, so special. Shame they didn't play the Australian national anthem, but to see the flag being risen and the team in the stands, it's pretty cool. And knowing everyone else at home is also watching, like, the rest of your country has your back as well. So,
oh my God,
third and do them proud is, special. Very special.
The whole Australian team just did everyone proud. Because obviously there was no crowds there in Tokyo at the games. But I'm sure that didn't really matter, because like the Australian swimming team would have been so loud. Like, you could tell that there was like some electric energy in the room.
Yeah.
Would I be true in saying that? Yeah.
Yeah, very true. That's what actually surprised me. So, like, a few days before the competition, we were able to warm up in the comp pool, and someone had said they're going to play just crowd noise over the speakers, just like at the footy. Just crowd noise. So I thought, oh, here we go. It's going to be like a bit of a downer. Like, there's going to be no atmosphere. But I remember before the relay, the starter man, he had to wait for the crowd to be quiet.
Oh, really?
Before he could start the race. So there was that much noise happening. And I guess it's just all athletes who had maybe trained that day or finished racing that day, just in the stands watching. So, I just remember the crowd going nuts. They had to wait.
Yeah. When you're actually like in the pool, though, can you hear the crowd at all?
Sometimes yes, sometimes no. Normally, a lot of people in the breaststroke, and they've got their head up, a lot of like coaches will whistle. So I think in the breaststroke, just your head being out for longer, you might be able to hear the whistle. In the fly, you can sometimes hear just the crowd. Yeah. Which spurs you on a bit more. But freestyle, because you're always in the water, you can't really hear much. But in the fly, on the occasion, you can hear the crowd screaming. Yeah, that's insane. I can only just imagine like the adrenaline that's just going through your body in that moment. But I remember I actually watched a video of you. I can't remember what it was, but you were saying how like at the surface level, swimming kind of looks like an individual sport, you know. Yeah. But I remember you said that the best thing that you like about swimming is like the team atmosphere, because like you guys are all just a big swimming team. So what was it like again swimming in that final with your mates, you know, as a collective team, like as you enjoyed that the most? Yeah, well, that was probably the highlight of my games. But like regarding the team, even back at home, you've got your sports scientists, you've got your physio, your coach, your training partners, your squad. You have so many people behind the scenes which help you out so much, with life, with swimming, with everything, just to get you here. So like, I can't thank all those people enough. And to swim like that and show everyone how far like my team has come, it's pretty special. But swimming in that relay, with the green and gold cap on, there's probably nothing better. Knowing that the rest of the Australian team is in the crowd watching, and doing them proud is just so good.
Speechless.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, that's amazing. And I guess like I said before, the whole of Australia was just like my mum, who isn't really into sport at all, even she was going nuts for the swimming. I think I think everyone loves the swimming. All my friends were talking about it, so that makes a lot of sense. It's exciting. Speaking on that, because how did you go in your butterfly in the heats?
Yeah, in the heats. So my main event is the 100 meters butterfly, and that was towards the end of my program. Having swum fast at trials, like insanely fast, I think I did over a second PB. So that's a fair amount of time in 100 meters. And like, it shocked me when I did that then, but knowing we hadn't raced properly for 2 years, I'm going to say, like I sort of deserved a PB. But knowing I'd raced real fast, it put a bit of doubt in my mind that I wouldn't get close to that time at the Olympics, just because we tapered down, rested a lot before the trials, and then we had to pick it back up again and then rest again before the Olympics. So in the heat, I think I ended up going 51.2, I think, which I thought, like, that's my second fastest time ever. So I thought, I thought I could go faster in the semi and then hopefully make the final, then faster in the final, which I managed to do. And then in the final, I ended up going 50.9. I was a little bit disappointed at first because it's half a second over my best, and in 100 meters, that's probably still a lot of time. So I was a little bit disappointed, but then like looking back, coming out of it, it's another 50 point I swum. It's my second fastest time ever. I've just come fifth at the Olympics. Like, you feel real? Like, why are you cracking sads? But no, I'm just stoked with that result to swim a 50.9.
It's amazing. It's the Olympics, Matt.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, exactly right.
Oh God.
But maybe I just had a bit of expectation on myself, because I was going in third, and third spot was sort of open between a few of us. So I had a bit of expectation, and to not achieve that, I was like a little bit disappointed. But now I look back, it's like, why am I complaining?
Yeah. No. I mean that first initial reaction is totally normal and fine. Like, you work so hard. Just a random question. Do you or do you not eat before a race?
Sort of depends. So maybe, normally banana's my go-to snack. So maybe if I'm feeling a little bit hungry after I've warmed up, I might have a banana or just half a banana. Some people won't. Some people will just have like a Gatorade or something. I just go off personal feeling. I know at trials I was having like a sandwich before I raced, just because I was hungry. But everyone's sort of different.
Yeah, fair enough. Also, another random thing that I want to ask, and I hear it's a fact. I heard that it's true, but so with the Australian finals, the finals are normally swum at nighttime. Is that correct?
Yes, correct.
So but this at the Olympics at Tokyo, the finals were swum Australian time, and I guess they were an hour behind or so during midday. Why is that? Why is that different?
So in the lead up to the trials, we actually swam 2 meets like that, with the heats
Right.
in the
Yeah.
afternoon and the finals in the morning, just for practice, I
Mhm.
guess. So I think that was good to practice. And then I thought it was pretty weird that the trials swam the same way, just
Yeah, it
to
was at night, wasn't it?
just to mimic the
Yeah.
Olympics pretty much. But I think I prefer heats in the morning and finals at night, just because
Yeah.
I've always swam well like that, and it's just what I'm used to.
Yeah.
But the Olympics, so the swimming rights were bought by CBS, a US TV
Yeah.
channel, and
Network, yeah. Yeah.
yeah. So they had the rights to the swimming, and they'd requested we swim finals in the morning, so it'd be prime time for US at night.
Of
It was a bit
course.
of a shambles, but
Yeah.
so it all worked out to be finals in the morning, heats at night. And at the start of the meet, I know this is a big question lying over the meet. Would the heats be faster than the
Yeah.
finals? Just because sort of at night you're just a bit more aware, you're a bit more ready than when you just wake up. And yeah, after watching the first couple of days, a lot of the heats being swum were quicker than the finals,
Wow.
which could have benefited some people.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a sort of a big difference.
Well, I'm glad that low key happened because the Americans got to see Titmus beat Ledecky, so that's
Yeah. How good was that?
So good. But yeah, that's so interesting. That is the case because yeah, is there a reason why your trials, the finals for the trials was at night time rather than like the Olympics?
Yeah, I'm not too sure on that one either.
Not too
It
sure.
could have been
Yeah.
for the TV in Australia, like
Yeah.
because I think Amazon had a lot of priority over that meet, and it was streamed on Amazon. So I think
Yeah.
it could have been for them, or it could have just been to try and get the best out of us swimming.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not quite sure.
I'm just going to change it up. This is not too much about the Olympics. This is more about you as an athlete.
Yep.
I posted out a question out to my friends because I told them that I was interviewing an Olympian, and
Yep.
I said, give me some questions that you'd want to know. And one of my friends wants to know, do you or have you ever had like a moment of like self-doubt, I guess? Because like all in all, you are an athlete, you're like this professional athlete that went to Olympics, but you are a human. So like, have you ever experienced, a self-doubt moment?
So normally I'm pretty good mental wise.
You're really chill. You've always been
pretty chill. So
yeah,
not much phases me, but normally I'm pretty persistent. I think the biggest moment of doubt I had was making that change, moving from Greensboro over to Nunawading. There's a bit of doubt just because if it didn't work out or something bad happened, there was a lot of change.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I had a lot of doubt then. That's definitely paid off. But knowing myself, I'm a hard worker. I'm pretty determined. So I know myself that I've done the training to race fast. I really love the racing, and myself, after racing a certain amount of times, it just gives me so much confidence to race again. Like I just go into a race knowing what I need to do and what I will do pretty much. And yeah, so I'm more confident than doubtful in a lot of my life, I'm going to say.
And I mean, like, that's always been you, I feel like. And obviously it's really helped you out because you've gotten this far in the swimming department. So well done.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, here's one though. So with a bad race, I'll rewatch it and find something I can improve on. So whether it's we look back at the times and I had a slow turn or slow dive or something along those lines, I'll take some things out of it. So I'll go back to training and work on that to better my skills in the turns and dives to make sure I can swim faster next time. So I'm always looking for the positive out of my racing.
Yeah. Well, you always have to. I mean, you'd go insane if you always constantly picked out the things you were doing wrong. You got to reward yourself. Yeah, definitely.
Exactly.
And with like obviously the Olympics being over, you know, what's the support been like for you, I guess, after the games, you know, on social media, and I'm sure you would have gained a few followers and a few fans from people watching you on the telly. Like, what's that been like for you?
During the games, I had a big support. A lot of messages after all of my races, which thanks everyone for that. I think it was a confidence booster again. Coming, a lot of people went straight back into quarantine, which I don't think was a good idea. Just being like at the highest high, then going to the lowest low, could have been a real struggle for a lot of people. Even myself, like I flew out to Rome after the Olympics, and I was in a bit of freedom. But even then, you're just going from the highest highs, and then even though I'm in Rome, it's just sort of you're just like a normal person again, and it's some people find it hard to accept, and like you sort of just got to get back on with your life, and it's a weird feeling, but I bet it'd be real hard for some.
Yeah. Anything that you want to say, I guess, to your fans, I guess your family or anyone watching that kind of supported you? Because I saw a lot of people posting about you, and you know, you mentioned that you did receive a whole lot of support. So is there anything that you want to say to them specifically?
Well, pretty much just thanks everyone for your support the past 2 months now, at least before the trials, during the Olympics, and even now, people are still messaging me, how am I going? How am I racing? What have you been up to? And I just hope the guys in lockdown are going all right. Just stay strong, pull through. A few puzzles or games, find something to do. But that's it. Just can't thank everyone enough for their support, pretty much.
Yeah. See all the memes of Ariane Titmus's coach going viral.
Yeah, that was nuts.
What's he like as a person? He did backlash.
Yeah, so I saw all the memes and whatnot, and then I saw a lot of articles about how it was disrespectful to Ariane. I mean, who really cares? But yeah, so I don't know if he copped it that much or not. But yeah, saw them all. He's out there. He's a bit of a weird character, but he's pretty good. Very loud, but gets around everyone, has a ball, so can't go wrong.
He seems like it. Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Well, I'll let you go. But again, like I said before, really appreciate your time, Matt. You're a legend.
Yeah,
keep killing it. Keep representing Australia. Yes.
Fingers crossed.
Yes. And that's it. Well, again, thank you, Matt. I'll let you go. But yes, we'll talk soon.
Yeah, we'll do. Thanks, Liv. See ya.
All good. See you later.